I'm 87 years old, and I need to tell you something that might sound cruel at first, but I promise you, it's the opposite. My name is Arthur Brennan, and I've been married twice in my life. The first time I married for love. The second time I married for something I didn't even have a word for back then, and it's that second marriage that saved my life. I met Catherine when I was 23. She worked at the library downtown, and I used to go there just to watch her reshelf books. She had this way of tilting her head when she read the spines, like she was listening to them whisper their secrets. I was completely, foolishly, wonderfully in love. The kind of love they write songs about. The kind that makes your chest ache and your hands shake when you're near her. We got married 6 months after our first conversation, in a small church with borrowed flowers and a reception in her parents' backyard. For 3 years, it was everything I thought marriage should be. We stayed up until dawn, talking about nothing. We made love like the world was ending. We fought about things that didn't matter and made up before the tears dried. I would have died for her. I mean that literally. If someone had asked me to step in front of a train to prove my love, I wouldn't have hesitated. Then one Tuesday morning, she told me she didn't love me anymore. Just like that. Over breakfast. The toast was still warm. She said she'd met someone at work, that she'd tried to fight it, but love isn't something you can control. And she left. Took her clothes, her books, and that thing in my chest that used to feel full. I didn't eat for a week. I lost my job because I couldn't get out of bed. My mother had to come stay with me because my friends were afraid I'd hurt myself. And the worst part, the part that still stings when I think about it, is that I wasn't angry at Catherine. I understood, because I'd married her for love. And love, I learned, is not a foundation. It's weather. It comes and goes. It changes. And when it left, there was nothing underneath to stand on. I didn't date anyone for 11 years. I worked. I existed. I got good at being alone. And then I met Margaret at my niece's wedding. She was a friend of the bride's mother, recently widowed, and we ended up at the same table during dinner. We talked about gardening and terrible wedding DJs and how strange it felt to be at our age watching young people make promises they couldn't possibly understand yet. We started having coffee every Thursday. Then we started going to museums on Sundays. Then one day, about 8 months in, she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Arthur, I don't think I'm capable of that falling in love feeling anymore, and I suspect you aren't either. But I really enjoy your company, and I think we'd make a good team. Would you consider building a life with me?" I said yes, and we got married 3 months later in a courthouse with 2 witnesses. No big feelings, no fireworks, just 2 people making a choice. We've been married now for 41 years, and here's what I need you to understand. What I have with Margaret is so far beyond what I had with Catherine that it feels insulting to even use the same word for both relationships. With Catherine, I loved her madly, but I didn't know her. Not really. I loved the idea of her, the feeling she gave me, the way she made me feel about myself. With Margaret, I know exactly who she is. I know she hates strawberries but pretends to like them when someone serves them because she doesn't want to be rude. I know she gets anxious in crowds but will never admit it. I know that when she's really worried about something, she reorganizes the spice cabinet. And she knows me. She knows I'm not easy. She knows I get stubborn about pointless things. She knows I wake up some mornings and can't remember why I'm supposed to care about anything. And she doesn't try to fix me or change me or love those parts away. She just hands me my coffee and says, "Today seems hard," and sits with me until it isn't. We built this. That's the word I was missing when I was young. We built this marriage the same way you build a house, deliberately, with planning and effort and constant maintenance. Some days the work is hard. Some days one of us carries more weight than the other. But we chose this. We keep choosing it. And that choice, that daily decision to show up and be kind and keep building, that's worth more than any feeling that just happens to you. Love, the feeling, is a terrible reason to marry someone. It's wonderful. Don't misunderstand me. It's one of the best things a human being can experience. But it's not enough. Because feelings change. Chemistry fades. That person who makes your heart race at 25 will be just a person at 45. And if all you built your marriage on was that racing heart, you'll wake up one day next to a stranger and wonder what happened. Marry someone you respect. Marry someone who makes you laugh. Marry someone whose character you admire, someone who treats waiters and strangers with kindness, someone who does the right thing even when it costs them something. Marry someone you genuinely like spending time with, not just someone you're attracted to. Marry someone who wants the same kind of life you want, who has similar values about money and family and how to spend a Sunday afternoon. And then, after you've married that person, love them. Choose to love them. Build love with them. The kind of love that isn't a feeling but an action. The kind that deepens instead of fades. The kind that survives illness and loss and all the terrible things life will absolutely throw at you. Margaret had a stroke 4 years ago. She recovered mostly, but her left hand doesn't work the way it used to, and sometimes she loses words in the middle of sentences. She gets frustrated. She cries sometimes. And I help her button her shirts, and I wait patiently when she's searching for a word, and I hold her when she cries. Not because some feeling compels me to, but because I chose her, and I keep choosing her, and that choice has created something so deep and so solid that I can't imagine my life without it. If I had married Margaret when I was 23, when I was still chasing feelings, I would have missed her completely. I would have thought she was boring. I would have wanted someone who set me on fire, and I would have been an idiot. So no, don't marry for love. Not for that dizzy, desperate, all-consuming feeling they sell you in movies. Marry for partnership. Marry for mutual respect and shared values and genuine friendship. Marry someone you can build something with, and then love them with everything you have. Love them with your choices and your actions and your daily decision to see them and stay. That's the secret no one tells you when you're young. Love isn't something you fall into. It's something you build. And if you build it right, with the right person, for the right reasons, it will hold you both up for the rest of your lives. I'm 87 years old, and I'm telling you this because I wish someone had told me. I wish I'd understood that the best love of my life wouldn't feel like falling. It would feel like coming home,